Alright guys, let's hop into it. Season 4, the HOTA Barbarian. Is it dead? Is it nerfed too hard? And the answer is, while we did take some huge nerfs to the HOTA Barbarian in Season 4, we did get a bonus to the size of Hammer of the Ancients, making it probably one of the best builds for doing open world content. So that would be doing any of the Whispers, doing any of the Helltides. This is a great build for that. And also, just keep in mind the gameplay, I don't have like the best stats. Everything wasn't min-maxed here because we only had a short time on the test realm. But specifically, there is a new temper that we can throw on, and with the Barbarian, it's really easy to reach that 100% cap of the Hammer of the Ancient size. So that is one of the biggest changes, and I'm going to show you guys how good that is in a second here. But also, there is a change with one of the nodes on the passive tree called Furious Hammer of the Ancients, which allows you to basically have 100% crit with your Hammer of the Ancients, allowing you to potentially drop the Red Ring of the Fuhrer if you want to, and you can just have 100% crit by just slamming Hammer of the Ancients. You don't have to do any tricks where you have to swap weapons, guarantee getting the overpower. You just spam HOTA and it's going to be deleting open world content. If you do want to push though, I'm going to mention that it's just much better to simply play the Dust Devil builds. If you do want to do the overpower build, sure, you can get more damage, but again, it's kind of tedious to go spam everything, build up the overpower, and essentially spin. You're using Whirlwind anyways, why not at that point just use the Dust Devil build? So I'll have the two builds that I would recommend for you to push with Barbarian down below, which again are going to be Dust Devil based because that's kind of what this season is for Barbarian. But you can still play HOTA. It's still going to be objectively faster for clearing out, again, open world content because, again, you will be able to just hit HOTA. It's going to basically delete most of the things, with the exception of maybe getting the brand new Tyrael's armor, which is an uber unique, which is a Whirlwind based build that could kind of keep up with this because this thing just, you slam it once and it basically deletes everything. Again, in open world, not pit 200. So just to show you guys how good the brand new Barbarian is in Season 4 for HOTA, here is the AoE of the size of the HOTA. You'll see it's kind of in like this blue, and it's also got this like yellow edge over here, but it's hitting stuff pretty much towards the edge of the screen. This is one HOTA over here. Again, don't mind the damage. I have no uber uniques. Not everything was min-maxed out. We're still able to one-shot pretty consistently, and you can hit almost the entirety of the screen. If you're playing on a wide screen, obviously it'll have some sort of a limit, but it pretty much will reach the edge of your screen, allowing you to basically kill most of the screen's content. So it's great for that. So that's kind of where this build would excel. So now that we kind of have that out of the way as far as like, is this dead? No, the answer is it's still a pretty decent build, but it's not what I would consider the best and highest DPS build for Barbarian in Season 4. Maybe it's your favorite build to play. By all means, you could still try to push in the pit, but again, you'd have to use Whirlwind, and at that point, just play the Dust Devil Whirlwind Barb anyways. So starting right off, let's go over this build. So what our build can achieve that's actually pretty good is we can get 100% crit, we can get 100% bigger size of the Hammer of the Ancients, and we have no overpower, and we don't have to cycle through our weapons. This is the way that I think a lot of people liked playing HOTA Barb, especially in like Season 2 and 3 that I uploaded. A lot of people really said that they liked my build because you didn't have to do the little spin. Again, if you want to do the spin, it's more damage, technically, in one hit, but in terms of like overall DPS in open world content, just spamming HOTA is going to be way, way, way faster. But again, if you want to push, you're going to have to do that or just play the other Dust Devil Barb. So starting right off, let's go over the skills. So as far as the skills go, we are running Iron Skin. This is technically optional. It's up to you on whatever you want to run. I really like this because in the pit, even at the lower tier ones that you're going to be doing, those red bosses hit really hard. And when you're at low HP, the Iron Skin is just excellent for that. But this is an optional slot. You can run whatever you want, whether that's Charge, Leap, you can run Ground Stomp, you can throw an Earthquake for even more damage. Iron Skin is just excellent for that. And then we're running, of course, Hammer of the Ancients, no basic skill over here. And then Rallying Cry, War Cry, Challenging Shout, and Wrath of Berserker. Basically, triple shouts, Wrath of Berserker is in almost every single good Barbarian build, and things really haven't changed too much. And then for the expertise, we are running the two-handed sword. So you can run the axe if you want more damage, but it's going to be inconsistent damage. This will allow you to apply Berserking, because when we kill a bleeding target, we have a chance to get Berserking, which is huge for Barbarians, a way we can scale extra damage, and just makes the build feel a lot more smooth. But again, if you want to apply bleed in some sort of other way, you could in theory drop this for the axe expertise. It's up to you on that. As far as the aspects go in this next upcoming season, we don't actually have to run Juggernaut on Barbarian because you're going to be getting so much strength, whether it be the greater affixes or just in general, because Barbarian can run 4 weapons. Well, you're going to be able to cap on your armor quite easy. So you may not need to run Juggernauts if you happen to have the right stats, but if you need it, definitely make sure you are going to be armor capped, which is like 9,000. I think like 9,230 is the exact number. But anyways, Numbing Wrath can be good just to get extra fortification here. Relentless Berserker aspect can actually give you the ability to extend your berserking. Then we have Edge Masters, we got Concussive Strikes. This one, you can run any utility one. I just like this one because it's another multiplier and it can daze the enemy, so that's actually more survivability as well. And then we have the aspect of Slaughter just for more mobility. You can run whatever you want. You can throw Penitent Greaves if you want to. The Limitless Rage over here, so you get more damage. And then we have Ancestral Force for more damage. And then we're running Inner Calm. Now, Inner Calm is actually getting a change in Season 4, and it's just going to apply a free damage buff. Now, the bonuses get tripled, so basically if there is a boss, you can still get a pretty decent amount of damage if you do hold still. You can throw this one on anywhere if you want to run a unique amulet. Banished Sword's Talisman's pretty good too, but I wanted to stay away from the overpower, as again, if you're running the cycle thing, you just might as well play another build. But anything here is totally okay for the offensive aspect, and I'll go over the roles in a moment here of the things that are really good. But specifically, on the rings, we want as much resource as possible, so Vocalize Empowerment, the Bold Chieftains, just so we can upkeep our shouts a little bit more consistently, and this will make it so we are always almost at maximum resource. You'll see that our resources are just going to be going right to the top very, very consistently. And then for our last set of weapons here, we are running the aspect of elements. You can run whatever you want here. Keep in mind, this is like PTR gameplay. We didn't have that much time on it, so I might not have had everything perfect here. And then accelerating aspect, just because we're spamming HOTA. That's all I really want to do is spam HOTA. This one actually can overcap your attack speed. You can actually throw this one on a two-handed as well, if you want to go ahead and do that. And then as far as what we're kind of looking for the tempering and the affixes, so getting maximum resource, fury per second, and cooldown reduction, those are all great stats to go ahead and look for where you can get them. So in the Helm, ideally just getting cooldown reduction is good. Fury per second is great, and the chest piece as well. Looking for maximum life, then getting a bunch of resistances and max life kind of where you can. And then obviously with our gloves, we want Ranks to Hammer the Ancients, we want crit strike chance, attack speed. Just make sure you cap on your attack speed. That is very important when you're just going to be spamming HOTA. It just makes the build feel very smooth. And then movement speed, obviously, on your boots. You can also get fury per second over here. And then just damage, strength, the attack speed, those are all great. You can also have a chance to restore primary resource, or you could run resource cost reduction, as we do not run the Red Ring of Fury. So that is one major change to this, as that item will guarantee, after you spend a certain amount of resource, that your Hammer of the Ancients will crit and deal like a multiplier in damage. But now we're just going to have 100% crit, so I'd rather just run another offensive aspect if you wanted to, instead of, let's say, resource. But I want to make sure that you guys have as much resource so you can just spam HOTA again and again and again. That is the most important thing. If you guys do have Uber Uniques, I mentioned some of the ones that are great, like Starless Skies, Grandfather Shaco, those are all great. If you want even more DPS, you could run Tybalt or Tuskhelm, and there's a couple other notes over here if you want to go ahead and check them out. But as far as the skill tree, I'm going to go ahead and kind of mouse over this relatively quick. But basically, you just want HOTA. Again, this is the newer node here. The basic skill does not matter. And then just some damage reduction. I actually took away some extra HP and survivability here. And the reason why I took that away is because, well, we're just going to be able to get way more life rolls, and you can get crazy amounts of life on Barbarian. But if you want to throw extra points into this and then get Martial Vigor, that's totally fine as well. But going down over here, we're getting pretty much the standard stuff, just like, you know, Booming Voice, War Cry, getting extra movement speed, all of these things like aggressive resistance for the Berserking, extra crit. Again, this one will have 100% crit as long as you get it on your gloves, your amulet. That's kind of what you're looking forward to getting some more damage here, because before, HOTA could just consistently one-shot, and we don't have access to that anymore. And then we have Wrath of Berserker over here. It's pretty much like standard. Nothing too special. We got Unbridled Rage, and you don't really have to worry about resources. You could also run Unconstrained if you are having resource problems. Sometimes, yeah, if there's like one thing that's not dying fast enough and you run out of resources, you can see we're back right to full resource right there. So you can easily go back. There's chance to restore or resource cost reduction. And because we don't run the Red Ring of Fury, you can, again, run Unconstrained if you want to. But that's it for the skill tree. And now going into the Paragon board. So the starter board, we're running Exploit, and then we go into Blood Rage, getting Wrath. This one is excellent. This is what's going to allow you to get berserking. That's why we need some sort of a bleed. And then we're going to still scale a bunch of extra berserking over here. This is a great note over here. While berserking, crit strikes increase your attack speed. Over here with Carnage. Again, once you reach the point of 100% attack speed, you may want to go ahead and throw Accelerating on a two-hander just so you can reach that cap. Again, that one breaks the cap of attack speed. It's in like a different category. Then we're running the Warbringer with Territorial. And then we're running Decimator with Might as our final board. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the HOTA Barbarian. I'm curious to know if you guys have played it. What do you think of it? I think it's still really good, and it was still really satisfying to play. And I will also cover the brand new Upheaval build, but I'm going to be honest, I would really suggest you guys to play the Dust Devils. That's kind of what they want us to play this season, as HOTA has been really dominant for the past like 2 seasons. It just does an insane amount of damage, but again, if you enjoy it, it is still very viable for open world content. It's still one of the fastest barbarian builds in the game, again, for open world content, because you slam once and it just has like this giant AoE, which is super satisfying to play. But again, if you want to push, I will recommend the Dust Devils, and I'll link that down below, as well as the build planner that will also be linked in the pinned comments. But that's going to wrap things up. If anything does change and we have to update it, subscribe, turn that bell if you are new here, and I'll update you guys and let you guys know if anything has changed. But take care. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.